Yeah, I get so excited when I'm on the milestone investing program. You know, Mondays for me, I call it Money Mondays because I just get excited to know about what is the next dividend, what's the next company I'm going to be investing in for this week. You know, Wednesday and Thursday are my best weeks. Monday is great. Most people might be thinking, oh, Monday is gloomy. No, Monday is joy. Money Monday is what I call Mondays for me. And it's a thanks to this program because I know I'm going to be making money this week.
Hi, this is Miles from Milestone Investing, and I have online Nzinga, who's been on the dividend fishing program now for over a year. Nzinga, I wonder if you can tell us tell us your perception of the program and what you've actually learned as a result of being on this 1 year program.
I've learned how to, primarily for me, um, I've learned the market a lot, how to invest in organizations, and to get high returns by utilizing the strategy of dividend fishing. But most importantly for me is a compounding effect from doing that is what I've learned. And it's just enabled my skills to understand how the financial system works as well. And how Miles explains it to me is just in a very easy way to the fact that I can teach my own children it as well, which is what really means so much to me.
Why do you find it so useful? Because you could be making money doing anything. So why is this useful?
Well, it's something that where I can just do once a week. I don't have to be glued to the screen. It's because I have children as well, and I run my own business. So when you're busy and on the go, I like the fact that I can find the time and make the time to make my investments, using a great strategy as well, which I understand in order to make some money, good profits consistently, without the pressure of trying to figure it out or be confused or be glued to the screen every day.
So how is it that you just said you can trade without the pressure of having to figure it out? How is it you can be certain without doing any research? How does that work?
Well, that's by yourself, Miles. You provide great, in-depth research on the companies that we invest in, which it would take me so long, like months and months, maybe years. I'd say years actually, never mind months, to get such accuracy of the companies that that I invested in. Um, so that makes it much more easier. And then how you present it in a way where it's just easy for me to understand the company I'm investing in. Not even just the fact of who they are, but the historical side of the company. So it gives a better idea for to make a judgment or observation, for me to create the best strategy when I'm trading. Um, so that's just completely fundamental, um, in the process is what you provide is vital.
Okay, so what would you say you've learnt about, say, fundamental trading, fundamental analysis, and maybe any other analysis? What have you learnt that you find useful to help you make sound judgments?
Well, first of all, I learned that when a company is giving out a dividend, um, I know that the next day that there's going to be a drop in the company's share, not primarily based upon the fact that that company is losing any profits or anything like that, but because of the dividends that are being paid out to the shareholders, it just caused a normal drop, and then it's going to retrace itself back to where it was at a certain time. Each company is different. It could be, you know, next day, 2 days, week, month, year, all depends. But what I do know fundamentally is going to retrace back itself no matter what. So I've learned that, which I didn't understand before. I've also learned that there's more than one way with the strategy to make money. It's not just only collecting the dividends, but there's ways on how I can make even more profit based on the company share falling and rising. So there's even more money to gain, and that's a strategy that I've learned recently through, again, the support from, you know, yourself. The other one I'm trying to think of. I've learned also, just personally for myself, my emotions. That's one thing that I had to no, that's one thing that provided me greater awareness of my emotions when trading, and that it is fundamental when I'm trading. And you taught and speak about that regularly to people, and it's something that stuck with me when I was trading, to be aware of how I'm feeling and my mood, because it can affect how I'm going to trade, whether it's going to be beneficial to me or not. So the emotional aspect of what I'm doing is a key factor. And also just going, I think just for me, just taking that step to just go for it was a very, very good thing. Whether I lost a trade or I won a trade, I learnt most of my lessons by losing, which most people might think it doesn't make no sense, but yeah, by losing is when I made my best improvements. And that was by me just going for it and just going into the market and, yeah, making mistakes.
What would you say to people who say it's just actually just too hard to do those trades and make money? What would you say to those people?
If they think that doing your strategy, if they feel that it's hard, they're not listening at all, because this I've taught to my children. They're 4 and 9, and they understand the basics of it. I don't see it being, I don't even know even the word possible, but I've got to use that strong word. It wouldn't make any sense that someone could come onto this, you know, Mars investing program and not be benefiting from it. The investment you're making to come on the course, you're going to get back in abundance, not just for yourself, but the way you can share this new added experience and skill and knowledge that you have with your family, friends, and colleagues and so forth. So this has a domino effect of being beneficial. And it's the only program that I have gone on when it comes to investing. I've heard about investing many, many times throughout my life. None of them has even come close to what Mars is teaching. None of them has also, not just to do with trading, but understanding wealth. That's what I love about this as well. It made you go, wow, that's how these people are making millions and billions of pounds. It makes you see the ease of it, rather than the basic complication that, you know, you're taught in society, how to make money. That way is just complicated, long, and you're not going to get those returns like this. I think these returns are kind of like unheard of, to be getting the kind of returns you're getting here on a weekly basis. And with the strategy that Mars is teaching us, especially with the compounding effect, it's something that you do that consistently and you do it committedly, you can, within 5 years, without a doubt, be a millionaire. Multi, in fact.
You talk about returns on investments. What number are you thinking of in particular?
It can be as you can make a return on investment each week consistently. Let's say for 30 weeks of the year doing this, or say for 25 to 30 days of 30 weeks doing this, 5%, you do that consistently for 5 years on an investment trading £1,000, £2,000, you will be compounding 100% to making a million plus just by 5%. I'm not even talking about 9 or 10%, which is what milestone investing strategies can provide. Because what I like with the strategy is that the aim that we work on is 20%. That's what we look for. Well, for professionals, is around 20% a mark. But even as a non-professional, you can get, 18%, 5%, 10%, and so forth. And in some cases, even higher to the 30s as well.
What would you say to those people who say, if it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is? What would you say to those people?
Sometimes people say there's these quotes so much that they believe it. And I got onto this course because my instinct told me this is the one to go on. I trusted Miles. He's highly educated and knowledgeable. He's not someone trying to ting or, I've read it somewhere or someone told me and I went on a course last week for, a few months. Now I know it. For someone saying if it's too good to be true, well, it is too good to be true, that it is true. It's just that simple. Because I am a testimony of it working and seeing it work week in, week out. And as Miles said, I've been doing it for some time now and I've grown. I went from someone not even understanding what is going on, very novice, not even understanding the markets at all, not even understanding how to read the candlesticks, not even really understanding the fundamentals of dividends, besides, a company will give out those shares. Not understanding not understanding how companies relate to the FTSE. There's other elements to it as well. And I've learned that in a short space of time and gotten great rewards from it. So it's not even a case of, is it too good for true? It's so good that I want to share it to the world about, not sorry, I want to retrace that. But what I mean, I'm sharing this with my family, my loved ones as well. But it's so, the best way to say it is this actually, because I know I'm rambling on, but I'm going to say this. It's like, what I realize is that saying, there's people out there making millions and billions, some millions a week, a day. But I'd say week doing the strategy, collect, getting dividends. And you might say, well, no, I don't believe that, but it is happening every single week. There's people out there making billions, millions of pounds. And I am on this, getting a piece of that as well.
What would you say to those people who would say something like, if it was so good then Nzinga, why haven't I heard about it? Why don't we hear about it on television or on the financial press? How is it we never heard about it? What would you say to that?
Why have you not heard of it? I always say anything that is good that you need to know, you got to research and search for it for yourself. If everyone knew about this, in fact, no, it's not if everyone knew about it. It's always been there, to be fair. But the way that Miles does this, that hasn't always been there. But the thing is, I'm going to go deep. It's where are you looking? If you're the kind of person that's looking for a quick fix, I'm going to be wealthy tomorrow, then obviously you're going to be looking for those kind of things and getting those scams, those too good to be true, so to speak. But if you're looking for something that is a strategy that you can use short term and long term, something that it can sustain your living, you can make this be your your earnings, and it can make you more than your average salary, way more, on a weekly basis. Or you can make it be something that you're going to be compounding for, like I said, as an example, for 5 years, 5 years, and get a huge high return that you would never ever get in a bank. So when you're saying how you haven't heard from it, it depends on where you've been looking to make real investments and wealth in your life. Because I found this based upon me wanting something that, if you want to call it, I'm going to say the same thing that you said, too good to be true, that it is true. And this is the one. As I said previously, there's been many informations out there, courses and so forth in trading, and not one of them comes close to this.
Where were you in your life prior to getting this training? What was your background? Were you like a school teacher? Were you a bank manager? What was your background prior to coming to this?
I'm not just. I'm an entrepreneur running my own retail business. I've had no financial experience whatsoever in this at all. However, I feel that my knowledge that I've got now, I can do the same talk that most of these financial investors do. Excuse me. I can do the same, if not better, way of speaking than some of these financial advisors give out today. To the point where even those that I know who are investing, when I do tell them about this, they are like, what? They want to know more about it. So yeah, I didn't come from no financial background. I don't come from investing whatsoever. I just come from a place where I want to build wealth. I want to understand how those individuals out there, or the 1%, as you want to call them, who are making millions and billions of pounds. I want to know what they're doing. And this milestone investing is, to me, the path to do that.
Yeah, is this way of making money for everybody?
It's for those who are committed and wanting to learn. So in a sense it is, but it depends on the individual. If you're committed and wanting to learn in this, and it's open to see the potential rather than having, oh, it's a scam, I don't believe this is going to happen, then it is going to be beneficial.
Would you say it's easy to learn this strategy? Is it a simple strategy to learn?
Very, very easy. Like I said, I've come from no understanding of investing, trading at all. And I quickly was able to adapt to the strategy and the weekly programs.
So if you was to look at your own performance over the last maybe 2-3 months, what would you say would be your typical weekly return on investment?
Wow. I would say, okay, 2 weeks ago, I got a nearly, over 90%, between 8 and 9, yeah, 90%, over 90%.
Can you say what company that was that paid you 90% return?
That was RBS, Royal Bank of Scotland.
Okay.
And prior to then, I've been on a winning streak. So each week I've been making good returns. And my returns have been, I would say, from 5% to between 5 and about 19%.
Is that all consistently every week?
Yeah, between 5 to 19%. Yeah, consistent every week.
And is that return investment, or is that a return on the fund?
Return on the fund.
And are you trading your whole fund?
Sorry, no. Hold on.
So that's okay.
Yeah.
So you are basically increasing your fund.
Yeah.
You're saying by between 5 and 19% each week.
No, from the trade that I'm placing.
Got it. So you're doing about 20%. You're saying between 5 and 20% on the trade. You're that's your return on investment, basically.
Yeah.
Calculation.
And I trade due to using a third of my fund.
So you do 1/3 of your fund.
Yeah.
And so if I was to do the calculation very quickly, if you're making 21% on the investment and you're only doing 1/3 of your fund, that means then your whole fund should be growing by 7%. That would be the fair way to go of working it out.
I would say that. I can say that. I would say that estimating.
When it comes to learning, because some people say that they're rubbish at maths, right? And they can't learn it. Is there lots of formulas, and how easy is it to learn those things for you so you can understand how to navigate the financial implications of what you're doing? How easy is that?
Again, it's how easy it is. It's very easy. I feel that if you're going to be in the mindset of thinking too hard, you're going to overcomplicate yourself. You just got to be relaxed. Because that's what I found. When I first started, I wanted to know every nitty gritty. And I realized I didn't need to know everything. I just needed to know the fundamentals, the basics of what the formula is, and stick to my strategy and create my own strategy based upon the guidance from what Mars is teaching. So that's what I stuck at. I don't go into know any real deep depths. Only personally for myself, for the maths side and figures, just because I love maths, I want to know the mathematics and how to work things out. Even though Mars has that information there already, I just for my personal choice and because I like maths, I just want to know how to work it out. So,
What would you say to someone who is on the fence about deciding whether or not they want to invest and make passive income or not? What would you even say to someone like that?
well, in this day and age, you cannot be sitting on no fence. There's no way you can be sitting on any fence and think that um, you're going to be you're safe. Sitting on the fence, you are going to be in, to me, and how the economy and the world is going, is not going to be beneficial for you. And this as well, with how things are going to be going, financially with the economy, especially those who have full-time jobs that work extremely hard, and could be part of certain organisations that are struggling, whether they know it or not. For example, the Marks and Spencers and other companies like that, that could be going to have an impact on yourself. You need something that you can learn, and generate a good income, and a compounding plan for your future, for yourself and for your family. So for example, if someone's been working in a job for 20, 30 years, 10 years, and that's all they know, and something happens, you're more mature now, what skill set would you have? What training can you do again without feeling apprehensive or maybe self-conscious within yourself about starting again? This would be one of the great programs to do that. To make great money and build wealth. That's a key with this. This is not just earning a salary, a wage. This is building wealth, and it's a completely different element altogether. So for those sitting on the fence, if you're sitting on that fence is going to get worn down, because in this day and age, it's not the right thing to be doing.
You might hear the phrase, but the stock market is way too risky. What would you say to someone who says that and believes that?
Someone who says that, again, it's hearing from, hearsay. Have you looked into that yourself? Because this here, whether the stock market is risky or not, we're still making great returns week in, week out, when the stock market's doing good or not.
So what about if the stock market is falling and all those companies are losing money? Now what?
Okay, the best way to describe that, and people might be thinking, oh, that's not fair, people are getting affected. But from what me understanding it now, it's think of it like this. It's like going into Harrods and everything in there is 90% off, right? It's fantastic. You can just make more money. That's the best way I can describe it. It's the best sale ever. And it sounds, mean to the average person is not educated to understand this. But whether it falls, it's the best. You can make more money that way.
So what you're saying is that when it falls, you end up getting a 90% discount and you can get everything cheap.
I was giving the analogy to show to you that it's like having a sale, the best sale. It's a great way to make a lot of money. Maybe
Cool.
even more. Yeah.
And Nzinga, I want to thank you very much for your insights and for your straight answers.
And thank you again, Miles, I constantly praise you for you teaching me this, you being a mentor and with this strategy, because it has literally changed my life, and not just financially, but my mindset as a whole. And that's because of your good nature and how you give a lot. And I've gained so much from that as well.
You're more than welcome. This is Miles from Milestone Investing, signing out. Take care. Bye now.